Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous, with me, Bragaton. Let's check out the suspicious house.
I'm gone.
The Conjurer's Sanctuary is close. I'll take you there.
It seems that quite a few people are missing from your entourage. I assume that in the chaos of the festival, some of them missed the message about the meeting point, Commander.
Robus frowns.
Alas, there's no time to wait for the others. We must attack now.
Why the hurry?
Whoever these mages are, they're up to no good. The longer we wait, the more time we give them, and we're right under their noses. They could notice us at any moment.
Address your party. Where do you think the others are?
If your companions are in danger, then those inside this house are almost certainly responsible.
I don't know where they are, but I don't like any of this. We need to press on. Either we'll find out our friends are already here, or we'll meet up with them later and give them grief for making us worry.
Your people are not little children. They don't need adult supervision. Even if they are in trouble, they can get themselves out of it.
According to some rough calculations, right now your assistants may be in one of 114 places in the city, or one of more than 10,000 other locations throughout Avestan. If you want, I can list them all.
The Eagle Watch will handle the search once we're done with this lair.
My companions don't usually disappear on me.
There are thousands of people in the city. Anything could have happened, good or bad.
Let's go.
Yes, onward.
I'll take care of it.
I don't have all my buffs available.
Rely on me.
Commander.
Anything new?
But I do have a few, so we'll get those out. The house looks quite ordinary and no different from the neighboring buildings. A strange glow is shining through the cracks in the floor. Something is happening in the basement.
We do it my way.
Alright, to the basement.
Follow if you dare.
Oh, Potion of Humanity. This alchemical potion grants a +1 inherent bonus to all ability scores. Bonuses of the same type usually don't stack. I already have inherent bonuses to all my ability scores.
It's time to act!
Oh, whoopsie daisy, I guess. A group of people all dressed in the same strange clothing turn to you, distracted from their magical ritual. Their faces are hidden by bizarre masks.
Demons and their minions don't put this much effort into their costumes and ritual sites. This is something new.
I've been on pins and needles all day, expecting trouble, and now it's happened. Only, it's not demons who are attacking us, it's cultists.
Ah, Commander. I admit we weren't expecting you here, but your arrival is most fortuitous.
Who are you, and what's going on here?
We are but humble servants of the greatest of gods, the only one worthy of worship. Our agents have infiltrated Canobris. The gates, the square, the temple. We are everywhere. Our lord has something for you. Let's call it a business proposal. An offer you will not be able to refuse. That is all I will tell you.
Who exactly do you serve?
The living god, the wisest and strongest of all, master of the 31 steps. We are here by the will of Razmir, and we won't leave until that will is fulfilled.
Alright, Razmir, the living god and ruler of Razmiran. Razmir appeared in the Archduchy of Melkat, in the western part of the River Kingdoms in 4661, claiming he had gained divinity by passing the test of the Starstone, which is not true. I think he's only like a level 17 wizard or something. He soon subjugated this realm, becoming its sole ruler and renaming it to Razmiran. Razmir calls himself the god of law, luxury, obedience, and the lands of Razmiran itself, but not everyone believes in his divinity outside his kingdom. It reminds me a bit of Doctor Doom.
Commander, Razmir was not invited to Canabris, nor were any Razmiran diplomats. These spies are here unlawfully.
Because Doctor Doom also rules over his own country, wears a mask and a cloak, and technically has a bunch of followers that dress like him with the Doombots, so there's a lot of parallels to be drawn there. Do you have my companions? None of the cultists answer you. They may be smirking under their masks, or they may truly know nothing about your companions. If your master wants to talk to me, I'm willing to meet with him.
The Lord Razmir ordered us to seize you, not to bring you in for a friendly chat. We will carry out his command.
Letter of the law versus spirit of the law.
Let's make this quick.
Alright, you guys about to get messed up. And it's entirely on you. We'll just throw a weird out here, I think.
Simply business.
The Inheritor, guide my blade! The light, take you!
Don't hold back!
No glory without risk!
It's your duty to cease to exist.
Cultists of Razmir. Now there's a group I never expected to see in Canabris.
Not a day's rest. As soon as you stop to catch your breath, new cultists are breathing down your neck.
I've been to Razmiran once. I had to dispatch a high-ranking member of the local church. He looked exactly like these mages.
Razmir. Razmir. The name rings a bell. As if I used to know it, but forgot. Well, if I forgot, it can't have been important.
Well, they're no threat to us anymore. The Eagle Watch has proved its worth once again.
If Razmiran cultists are really looking for you, Commander, then things are bad. I don't know what they want from you, but Razmir is a cruel tyrant with the resources of an entire country at his command. Whatever he's up to, it's nothing good.
Razmiran doesn't have diplomatic relations with Mendev, does it? Its agents' clandestine activities on a peaceful holiday like today could stir up conflict between the two nations.
Personally, I'd be surprised if this incident led to any real conflict. Mendev's already got its hands full fighting the Abyss. And besides, the cultists were cautious, and presumably hoped to remain unnoticed. Still, the fact that they were tracking you specifically is disturbing.
Who is Razmir?
A living god. At least that's what all of Razmiran thinks. In my opinion, he's just another arrogant tyrant whose only real achievement was managing to gain control of a weak nation in the River Kingdoms. He's ambitious, greedy, and powerful, but otherwise an ordinary man.
Why were Razmir's agents looking for me?
Well, they weren't looking for a cozy chat, that's for sure. Maybe Razmir means to kill you, but I can't imagine why he'd want to.
Why do you call them cultists?
Razmir proclaimed himself a god. His people revere him, worship him, offer prayers to him, just like cultists. From what I understand, their cult does not engage in bloody rituals, the summoning of dark entities from other planes, or other such vileness. But at the end of the day, they're still followers of some power-hungry usurper masquerading as a god.
What kind of ritual do you think they were performing?
Their magic was probably the source of your impersonator's powers up on that stage. I wouldn't be surprised if there are other agents in the city posing as you.
Do you think the cultists are involved in my companion's disappearance?
It's possible, but no more possible than your comrade simply getting lost in the crowd. I'll try to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible.
What's next?
I'll raise the alarm among my people. There must be other cultists in the city. We will find them. Commander, you can still enjoy the festival while we're busy searching. But stay on your guard and be ready for anything.
These cultists are more dangerous than we thought. We should be more careful going forward. Call the priest. I brought the scroll, Sir Rovis. I mean, help the commander's companions.
I'm always ready.
The strange mask of one of the cultists looks like it is watching you. Pretty sure they don't drop anything unique by themselves. The cultist spy disguised as a cat did not survive his punishment. Bioacre of Protective Slime. Gain a +3 bonus to armor class, and every saving throw you make automatically succeeds. This effect lasts for 1 minute, or until you've made 3 saving throws. The Flaming Quarterstaff +2.
Take a look.
And a Rod of Power Source. This heavy, softly humming rod grants the wielder a +4 bonus to Conjuration School Spells DC, and the ability to make up to 5 spells they cast per day empowered, as though using the Empower spell feat. Regular rods can be used with spells of 6th level or lower.
I'm off.
Alright, we should be all caught up, so all that's left is to go to the main stage.
I am never wrong.
And now, the main event of the day. Please welcome the Knight Commander. I'd like to invite all the Knight Commanders to come nearer the stage for the judging of the best Knight Commander impersonator. Please step forward.
The herald pauses for effect.
Hurry up! It won't take long. You'll be parting with your friends and companions again in no time.
The herald's voice hardens. He scans the crowd as if looking for you, and he realizes that his words are addressed specifically to you.
Wait a minute. Do you see that mask? Oh, They tricked us, the scum. They played us like a fiddle.
Rebus clenches his teeth. What's wrong with the mask?
Take a closer look. That carnival mask is a perfect match for the ones worn by Razmir's cultists. On the face of the herald himself. Here we were looking for spies who'd managed to sneak into the festival, and they were the ones organizing it all along.
That sounds rather ominous.
I'll say. He's challenging you, Commander. In full view of everyone, but so that no one but you realizes what's going on. He's talking about your companions. He's just announced, right on stage, that he's the one who kidnapped them. He has your entire party hostage.
How did you manage to miss something like that?
I made a mistake. We took all possible measures to ensure that no demons or demon worshippers could sneak into the festival. We didn't consider ordinary spies.
This seems like a trap.
Of course. But it's too early to give up. So the Razmiran cultists took us by surprise. Too bad. I still have some contingency plans up my sleeve.
I'm not going up on stage.
You have no choice. He's taken hostages. What he said about the festival guests, you understood what he meant, right? He's threatening to kill them if you don't show yourself. Who knows how many disguised cultists there are in this crowd?
Alright, I'm going. Let's see what they have in store for me.
Go ahead, Commander. I've got your back.
The contestants have lined up near the stage. Some of them look like they could be your twin, while others are not even close. Amidst the joyful chatter of the crowd, the herald slowly walks among the contenders, gazing intently into each face.
Let's give a round of applause to our participants. How much effort has gone into these costumes? How much talent and ingenuity? But only one will be the winner. Only one will get the prize. A journey into the wonderful world of luxury. Let's hear it for the contestants.
The herald stops in front of you, and his eyes smile through the slits in his mask.
This is our winner. Come up to the stage, Commander. First prize, Commander. Be proud. Few are given such an honor. You have earned a personal audience with me, the living god, Razmir himself.
He says it softly, his voice barely audible over the cheering crowd. So your name is Razmir. Who are you?
You'd best keep quiet, Knight Commander. We'll talk later, face to face. What's this? Oh, it seems I underestimated you. I suppose I can answer a question or two, but let's not interrupt the spectacle. No need to worry our audience unnecessarily. And certainly no need to waste my precious time.
Razmir casts a spell, but it dissipates easily, leaving you unharmed.
All right, a short sermon for the unenlightened. Before you stands a living deity, the patron of luxury, law, and obedience, the great Razmir, ruler of Razmiran. You may bow. Don't bother. After all, people talk about you as if you are a myth incarnate. One could say you're almost my equal.
Razmir's voice is heavy with venomous sarcasm. The name has a familiar ring to it, like an echo from the distant past. Perhaps he has a small following of believers in Galarian. If you wanted to talk, you could have just sent an ambassador to Dresden. Why all this drama?
In Dresden, your citadel, we'd have talked on your terms before entering into any negotiations. I always try to secure the most advantageous position for myself. As a fellow strategist, I'm sure you understand.
What do you want from me?
What I want is for us to speak privately, away from prying eyes. You don't want your secret to become public knowledge, do you? Let the crowd believe their fairy tale about their mythical hero. It's good for them. Let's finish the show, and we'll do the negotiations backstage.
A scornful laugh sounds from under the mask. What have you done with my companions?
Nothing untoward for now. They're my guests. Merely insurance in case you decide to put up a fight. I give you my word. If our negotiations proceed peacefully, I will return all of you safely to Canabras.
You'll regret crossing me.
You've no idea how many times I've heard that. And you know what? I never end up being the one regretting it. And so, here is our winner.
Razmiran addresses the crowd again, his commanding voice filling the square. Ruby still remains among the crowd, who waves frantically at someone and points in your direction.
And here is his prize.
Fate is a convenient concept for explaining the unexplainable. Why does an individual always find themselves in difficult circumstances? What makes someone lucky or unlucky? The answer is simple. Fate. Even now, in this age of lost omens, people still resort to such explanations. The commander attracts adventure wherever he goes, a tendency that should be studied, not hastily dismissed with the pseudo-explanation of fate. The portal opens in an unfamiliar dungeon, dank and bleak, a stark contrast to the pleasant square in Canabras. The commander thought he saw Robus dash through the portal after him before it closed. However, the new head of the Eagle Watch is nowhere to be seen. Welcome to Razmiran, comes a condescending voice. Please don't move. We must finish the spell. The approving whispers of the speaker's cultist minions echo behind him. The commander is sitting on a chair in the center of a dark chamber. He decides to quickly look around. Razmiran's face is concealed by an impassive white mask, as are the faces of his minions crowding behind him. I have many questions for you, self-styled commander. You have plenty of time to answer them. A chuckle seems to come from beneath the mask. But first let me block your so-called mythic powers. We wouldn't want to make a scene now, would we? Razmiran gives a signal, and his minions begin moving their hands in magical gestures. The time for action has come, and the commander decides to unleash the full force of his mythic powers upon Razmiran. The commander feels the familiar tension building up inside him, but the tension does not find its expected release. Only a small portion of its power hits Razmiran in the chest, but it is enough to hurl him against the wall. Increase the pressure, orders Razmiran, as he staggers out through the doorway. His cultists close ranks. The concerted magic is somehow holding the commander's powers at bay inside his body. Commander must escape before the unknown magic binds him permanently. He has no choice but to run headlong through the line of cultists. The commander swiftly dashes past his captors and leaps out into the hallway. Aren't we in a chair? I assume we'd be strapped down. Slamming the door behind him. The cultists only shriek in surprise, and haplessly stumble over one another in their attempt to catch him. A long tunnel leads straight ahead. Cell doors flash past on the left and right, but there's not a soul to be seen. Finally, the tunnel ends, and the commander is standing at the foot of a staircase leading up. At the same time, he hears muffled sounds coming from an inconspicuous door under the stairs. The commander chooses the inconspicuous door. The room turns out to be surprisingly spacious. It looks like a laboratory more than anything. Set out on tables around the room are scrolls, magical ingredients, and vials containing substances of various hues. A gnome and an elf in Razmiri cultist robes stand near one of the tables, locked in an animated debate. They are so engrossed that they do not notice the commander's entrance. The commander decides to listen in on the conversation. You lost your mind, adding real gold dust. We need the audience to believe in the light's magic, not to gild their hats and jackets, shouts the gnome, rolling his eyes angrily. I added yellow lily pollen last time. Everything went fine at first, the elf explains. I read the spells on the scroll and scattered the pollen. It glittered in the dim light. The congregation believed that I was really doing divine magic. Get to the point, yells the gnome, losing patience. Allergies. One of the audience members was allergic to pollen, as it turned out. The commander decides to attack the cultists and search the lab. The cultists prove more agile than expected. The elf reads from a scroll and vanishes into a portal, and the gnome immediately leaps in after her. Now there's no one to disturb the commander's exploration of the laboratory. Quickly inspecting the tables, the commander discovers a large number of elixirs, ready-to-use scrolls, and spell components. After taking all the items of value, the commander considers his next step and chooses to. So we got Demon Blood, Hide of a Magical Creature, Magic Essence, Cold Iron, Acid Flask, Concentrated Acid Flask, Scroll of Heal times 3, Scroll of Harm times 3, and Diamond Dust times 100. Take another good look around. Unfortunately, the commander fails to find anything of value. The clamor of voices and stomping feet echoes along the corridor before quickly dying away. It seems the commander's escape has been noticed. The commander decides to leave the laboratory and hurry up the stairs. The commander climbs the stairs, leaving the dungeons behind and entering the palace. The sumptuous decor radiates solemn grandeur. Gilded handrails on the staircases and balustrades, heavy velvet drapes, carpets so thick one's feet sink into them with every step. All this is capable of inspiring awe in a commoner unaccustomed to such sights. The walls are dotted with white masks, making it seem as though Razmiran himself is watching everything that happens inside the palace. However, the commander's escape from the dungeon has not gone unnoticed. Guards are rushing through the corridors, and shouts and the rattling of weapons can be heard drawing closer. Soon the commander is surrounded by armed cultists. In the name of Razmir, you are under arrest, shouts the boldest of them. Don't move. The cultists behind him start moving their hands in ritualistic gestures, and the air fills with magic once more. The same magic that fettered the commander's powers in the dungeon. Wasting no time, the commander tries to intimidate the cultists. Under the weight of the commander's authority, the cultists give up and take a few steps back. Razmir's minions lose the will to fight. He's the real deal. He really does have mythic powers, they cry out, scattering. The commander passes a dining room, a kitchen, and several side chambers. Only one door draws his attention. It is decorated with 3 masks and is slightly ajar, and from behind it, the commander can hear the chanting of devout worshippers. Opposite it is a huge set of double doors, which must surely be the entrance to Razmir's throne room. After collecting his thoughts, the commander opens the door leading to the Chapel of Razmir. There's a service in progress. Masked cultists kneel in front of a portico where a priest hidden under a mask of Razmir mask is preaching. From the outside, it appeared that Razmir himself is conducting a service before other Razmirs. Another huge mask hangs directly behind the priest. The commander makes a decision to listen to the service. I'm the great Razmir, and my word is the word of God, the priest says in an aged voice that is strikingly different from that of the Razmir who met the commander in the dungeons. I'm the great Razmir, the cultists echo. I passed the test of the Starstone and gained divinity. My will is unyielding, the priest continues. The commander considers his next step, and decides to keep listening. No mortal can look upon my visage and not die of exultation. I have graciously hidden my face beneath a mask, so that I do not forsake my flock, says the priest. I am all merciful, affirms the flock. Having heard this, the commander prepares to keep listening. The mask is the extension of my will, the priest proclaims. Through masks do I gaze upon the world. Through them, I am present everywhere, invisible and unstoppable. Through them, my will and my power flow. I am omnipresent, intoned the cultists, throwing up their hands. The cultist fervor is at once commendable and foolish, as with all cultists. The commander decides to quietly exit the chapel and open the doors to the throne room. The heavy doors open on creaking, unoiled hinges. It is clear they are rarely closed, but today is a special occasion. An expansive hall is revealed beyond the doors. It is hard to imagine more magnificent surroundings. The crimson carpets are embroidered with gold thread. The walls are adorned with gold inlaid masks. And the gold chandelier on the ceiling must be held up by magic. Otherwise it would surely have fallen long ago under its mighty weight. Razmiran himself is waiting for the commander, the lazy look in his eyes, and a group of cultists behind him. "Ah, my dear guest," he says in greeting. "When I say dear, I do mean it. It cost me dearly to capture you, and that's not to mention the damage you're doing to my palace." He nods slightly, and his cultists begin weaving their hands in spellcasting gestures once more. A wave of energy tenderly washes over the commander, enveloping him like a warm blanket. The commander tells Razmir what he's going to do to him. Razmir remains unflinching, but his minions prove to be weaker in spirit. Many give up, and the spell dissipates. Wasting no time, the commander attacks his opponents. There are some battles that cannot be avoided, in which retreat, while technically possible, is unthinkable. Some might call such battles momentous, others might call them righteous. Today, the commander has met an opponent who must be defeated, one way or another. After finding his bearings, the commander launches a direct attack on the enemy, without holding back or retreating. One after another, the cultists fall, struck down by the commander. Razmir takes a step back, finally realizing that defeating this opponent is beyond his capabilities. Suddenly, the commander's companions burst into the hall. Though they were captured in Canabris and brought to Razmir's palace, they had managed to escape captivity. Now they have come to the rescue. Rovis, who entered the portal after the commander but found himself in another chamber, fights alongside them. The enemy's losses are heavy, but the commander is beginning to tire as well. Razmir is the first to break. "Keep fighting," he shouts. "Buy me time, you worthless creatures." He hides behind the doors, and without him, the defenses cannot stand for long. Soon all the cultists have been defeated or have turned and fled. The commander feels a light touch on his shoulder. Glancing around, he sees Rovis. Rovis leads the commander into a side room and locks the door tight. Now would be a good time to rest and recuperate.
Pearls of wisdom from Brother Woljif. If you're flogging a fake treasure map, take care that all the islands are where they ought to be. Or if you add some of your own devising, at least give them normal sounding names. Lands of Woljif the Great isn't a good name, it turns out.
Alright, I'm going to call it here, and next time we will find a way out of Razmir's palace, or at least start to. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.